right, I'm going to pull up really quickly on my computer the forever quoting so we can talk about it. Joyce, struggle. It's basically the same for you, though, so look at the purple sheet first. And meanwhile, let me upload. All right, here we go. Up on the front, you guys see spring break homework. Okay, question. You guys had this during Christmas, so it shouldn't be that much of a shock, but what has been added that is new and different? Besides only 10 times, because we only have a break that's, well, the break is shorter than Christmas. Besides the only 10 times, 5 times, up to 5 times bonus, you can get 150% on this assignment that's basically worth a homework packet. Oh, that'd be nice. Question, what's new? As a substitution for reading through all the cards out loud, you may handwrite all of the forevers. Each handwritten copy of all of the forevers count as 2 check marks or 2 times quoting. What does that mean? Instead of quoting 10 times, what could you do? Write them handwritten 5 times. Now wait, could you write 1 through 49? And then 1 through 49, then 1 through 49? Yes. Could you write 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, whatever 5 is? Yes. And that would get you what percentage on this assignment? Wait a minute, doesn't it need to be attached and turned in with the sheet, aka stapled to the back? Yes. On pieces of paper, yes. Not new cards, right. Do not make new forever cards. You're just writing out what's on the forever cards. Question, how many times would it take handwritten to be 100%? 5 times. Times 2 is 10. How many times to get 14 points out of 10? 7 times. How about 15? No. I will not take a half handwritten copy. So instead, you'd have to quote it once. You could write it 7 times and quote it once and get your 15 points. Does that make sense? Or you could quote it 6 times and write it 2 times. Or you could quote it 4 times and write it, and write it 1 time. I don't know. BC kids, we were talking about how sometimes when you're on trips, you don't necessarily want to be talking out loud your forever cards, and some people can get annoyed, especially if you're like in a van down to Baja for hours and hours and you're trying to quote your forevers. Anyway, so then we brought up the, hey, doesn't handwriting help you memorize too? And I said yes. And I was like, hey, I guess, well, it will take longer to handwrite, so let's make it worth double. There you go. And then we were like, this is just for BC. And I said, never mind, I'll do it for AB too. So are we tracking? So it could be reading out loud 1 through 49. And I've already explained about the thought, the thoughtfully and the thinking through and reading through out loud every single aspect of. And for E to the X, you can say swoop. And for ln of X, you can say swoop, right? You don't necessarily have to, well, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Kiddos, on this sheet, can you please go ahead and underneath the table write the word integrity? Every single day of spring break is in that table except for Easter Sunday and the next Sunday. If you decide that you want to quote on one of those Sundays, add columns to the table below the table, and you can quote during those Sundays as well. You do not have to put a check mark for the handwriting. The handwritten copy that will be stapled to your purple sheet and turned in will suffice. Each one is worth, each full copy of the forevers handwritten out will be worth 2 checks. If you hire someone to handwrite it for you, are you helping yourself for the AP test? And the answer is no. Coming back. You've written the word integrity. Underneath the word integrity, or next to it, write an X and draw a long straight line. Kiddos, in life, there are going to be times when no one is looking over your shoulder and you are expected to maintain your integrity, whether at work, whether in a marriage, whether with family or with friends, whether at school, or whether on your own in some other capacity. If that works. This is one of those times. This is a test of character. I don't want you to sign in right now. I want you, before you turn in this assignment, on the Monday, Tuesday, after we get back. What? I'm giving you a grace day because some people are just not going to be here on Monday, or they're going to come back late from a trip and be on jet lag, or they're going to, et cetera, et cetera. Mostly thinking about my Paris people. I want you to sign this right before you turn it in if you did this assignment with integrity. Are we tracking? Cool. Besides that, any questions on the forever quoting due the Tuesday after we get back? What are we preparing for in our forever quoting / handwriting? Our forever final. What or where does the forever final go in your grade breakdown? The final exam category. What else is in the final exam category? Your Saturday final, which you will be getting back today, and we'll talk about the corrections in just a moment. But whether you did really well on that Saturday final, a forever final could drag that grade down in the final exam category. Whether you did less than you would have wished, the forever final can bring up the final exam category. The forever final is hard, but it's manageable. You need to memorize and fill in. There will be bonus opportunities on the forever final as well. So we are going to study our forevers. We need to remember them forever, especially until May 9th. Okay, so what is the next bullet point? Final corrections. We'll get back to that one. What's the last bullet point? Or the last underneath the dotted? Where am I right now? Oh, not yet. Where am I going? Shared folder. Okay, boring. Class notes, handouts, assignments, homework sheets, letters of advice, but what else is there? Most of you just get daunted trying to go to my website, so here, fine, I've made you a folder for this stuff. I have an advice, tips, reviews, tricks, etc. In one folder, some of the stuff, most of the stuff from my website itself. However, I also have practice exams. Ooh. Hold on. What does it say back there? Bonus AP exams need to practice, right? Okay. What do you guys notice about the names of the first 1, 2, 3, 4? Although it's technically just 3. Hey, who makes the AP test? Guess what test was actually given in the year 2003? Actually given. It doesn't say practice, it says exam. This one. This entire AP was given? Uh-huh. Section A's and Section B's and FRQs, 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s and 6. Guess what's at the very, very end of this? If I can find it. Oh, it's not the answer key. Oh, where's the answer key?
Right there.
Oh. Guess what I have for 2003? Multiple choice. Some amazing teacher, and it was not me, went through and worked out every single one and made it all nice and pretty and amazing and detailed. Oh. Including FRQs? Nope. Oh, not including FRQs. Oh, but there's a free response part. And then I gave you the AP graders FRQs we're used to grading out of 9. True? Huh. Did you notice there was another exam, not a practice exam, but an actual exam in that category?
Yes.
Huh. The 2008 one, right? Right here. The multiple choice and free response is written in 2 separate files, but it's one combined exam. It just is what it is. It's a weird copy of it, but it is what it is. So 2003, that's one practice exam. 2008, that's another practice exam. Now you notice 2008, a different exam, a practice exam itself. It says practice on it when I pull it up. Practice exam. Guess what's at the end of these practice exams? Answer keys for multiple choice and FRQs. Just sadly, the multiple choice isn't all worked out, but that's okay. They're there. Now, sadly, we go to other study books. Princeton Review, Peterson exam. There's a Barron's website I've given you earlier, etc., etc. Kiddos, listen carefully. What is the biggest category affecting your grade in AP Calculus AB right now? Tests and quizzes, and it's worth 60%. True? Each entire exam, practice exam, you attempt and grade. I don't necessarily say correct, but a wise person would. Attempt and grade. I don't necessarily say correct, but a wise person would. Is worth plus 5%, 5 test points in your test quiz category. Think about it. Plus 5, plus 10, plus 15, plus 20, plus 30, plus... No, because how many tests have we taken this year? But if you have a bad test, or if you have 2 bad tests, and the final exam won't cover both of them, or maybe your final exam isn't as high even after the forever final as you would have liked, I'm going to have in the test quiz category, it's called bonus AP exams. It's going to be out of 0, and every exam you fully attempt and grade will be worth 5 points. Now listen carefully. The multiple choice has to be attempted and graded, and the FRQs have to be attempted and graded, and I am telling you, you are starting with College Board exams. Okay? If you decide to go to some of the Princeton Review or the Peterson practice exams, my advice is forget their FRQs, go grab a random year's FRQs from that huge collection of all the FRQs ever given. Print off one of those years and attempt that instead, because the answer key will be there and it would be better practice than the FRQs of these non-College Board exams. Could you print off this entire huge packet like I had to do for 58 of you, nope, plus 64 of you on the Saturday final? You could, and you could write it out on that, and you could grade it on that, and turn into me this huge packet of paper, or you could download the PDF so that you're not using data, accessing it all the time, and you could work out the problems on notebook paper, putting a clear title as to which practice exam you are doing, grading it in a colored pen like you were always supposed to do, and a wise person would try to figure out what they did wrong. Okay, questions real quick about the bonus exam, starting with Kyle because he's had his hand up the longest.
Alright, so you want to do first College Board?
Do the College Board practice exams first.
Also, if we already bought a Princeton Review AP review book, can we do the test in that for credit or no?
What he's asking is if you've already bought a study book, a study guide, a study something, could you do one of those practice exams? For the multiple choice, I will say yes. For the free response, I will say my same. Please print out a College Board year of free response and try that and grade that instead and attach it. Does that make sense?
So this is multiple choice.
Now, kiddos, hold on. If you turn in a piece of notebook paper and it says CAABED and some of them are randomly marked wrong with right answers written next to that, am I going to give you credit for that? No. Just letting you know. Not every problem needs work, but most do. Noah, question.
You have to time yourself.
A wise person would? But do you have to? The answer is no. Because technically when you practice, isn't the first goal to get it right? The second goal is to do it at game speed. Does that make sense? So in basketball, you get the skills down first and then you go game speed. Now, does that mean that you should stay slow all the way up until May 9th? No. Hopefully you're, time yourself some. So I don't mind if you're missing problems. That's not the point. The point is you're practicing and then you're figuring out how you're doing and you're getting exposure to more questions. But I don't mind you going slow. But I would say a wise person would start timing at some point. Josh, question? The day of the AP is a no-go because I do not want you doing this the night before the AP. But the day before, let's say the day of the AP is a no-go. I don't want you doing it the night before the AP. But the day before the AP, you can turn in your last bonus exams. But a wise person, if they have time over spring break, might start doing bonus exams over spring break. Any other questions about the bonus exams? Okay. Yeah, Eileen. I would rather you turn them in the intervals just because theoretically if you like randomly turn them into me, now during class is not the best time unless you don't put them in the back trays, that's okay. But if you turn them into me like after school or something, I'll probably check it real quick. I'll mark down, I'm just going to do tally marks of how many you turn in. I can mark down the tally mark and get it back so you can study from it later. Or as soon as possible. Does that make sense? Okay. So we've gone over the forever coding, check. We've gone over the bonus exams, check. Wait a minute, don't we have this AP packet we're supposed to be going over right now? Approximating different definite integrals. Okay, how many of you guys have at least one question on that packet? Okay. It's at the end or during or something. Eileen, hang in there too, a few more minutes. Okay, hold on, wait. We still have one more thing about up there, the final corrections. I'm going to talk about in a second, but first of all, this review. Theoretically, we're supposed to turn it in today. I'm supposed to give you my new packet that I have ready for you. Integration. I need about logistics for basically the rest of the time until the AP, so that we know what's coming, we know where we've been, we know where we are somewhat, or we're going to hopefully kind of figure that out over spring break, and then we know where we're going. So to that end, I'm not going to probably be able to take as much time answering questions on this as possible because we still have a couple more key logistics to talk out. So I'm not going to collect this today. So officially, you guys over spring break have how many packets? All the ones I've given you because I passed them all back, right? How many of you guys have some evens you could play on as well? And get some more bonus points in your homework category. I'm making sure that you have all of the packets that I've given out. Reviews 1 through 6, I believe, is where we're at. Even though I kind of forgot to keep labeling them along the way. But reviews 1 through 6, I do believe you have. So, number 1, I'm not taking them from you because we're not going to answer all the questions. Number 2, so that you guys can, if you want to put into your time, work on the evens for bonus of this over break as well. We might get to a couple of questions today, we might not. I am not giving you one of these packets over break because I think you have more important things to do. You're going to get a new packet when we get back from break. However, what's the second bullet point back there? Final corrections. That's a Saturday final, April 1st Saturday final, unless a couple of you kind of took different reports later. Anyway, those corrections, why aren't they due Monday? Why are they due Wednesday? Paris people, Baja people, other traveling people, somewhat, that's a little bit of grace for you. However, that's not me telling you you shouldn't do calculus over break. That's not a wise person would do calculus over break. However, coming back, final corrections, I have them due Wednesday also because the Monday we get back, this packet, we're going to quickly go over remaining questions you have. We'll get it turned in out of your life. Then for the remainder of Monday and possibly Tuesday, depending on what we need, I'm going to ask you guys what questions, what missed multiple choice or free response on the AP Saturday final, the mock AP that was your final exam, you still have. So we're going to have a work day the rest of Monday, maybe even part of Tuesday, on what questions were you not able to answer yourselves over break. Now, what am I talking about? Everybody missed stuff. The maximum number of points was 108, and I believe my highest score was around a 92, which is excellent. Listen, wait, not percentage, composite score. Not percentage, composite score. Let's just say if you got above, I believe, a 68 out of 108, you had a 5, 100% on the final. Excellent job, well done. It was a 68, 67. Anyways, back there on a piece of paper if you want to know. The rest of the score is going all the way down to, now here's the struggle. Each of the ranges were about 11 to 13 points. Except the ones were 0 to 36. Those were 36 points. The twos were 7 points. It's the AP. It is what it is. They have students take it and they distribute you according to what they believe is right. It is what it is. 0 to 36 was a 1, and that was my range for 60s. So, yeah, that was interesting. Having you do 60 to 69 and 36 points. But anyway, 0 to 36 was a 1. In the 60s range, 60% range for the score for my final exam. 37 to, what would that be, 44-ish, maybe 43-ish, was a 2. There were only like 7 points in that category. And then every category after that was like somewhere between 10 to 13 points all the way up to the 5s, and the 5s was like 68, 69 to 108. The 5 range is huge, but it's really hard to get up there. To that end, you guys, when you get back your final from Saturday, will have, it'll be on your Scantron, stapled to your free response, everything that has marking on it of things that are right or wrong. Your Scantron's going to show you what you got right and wrong, because you guys have little pink marks next to the letters. At the bottom, I wrote in how many points you got from free response, how many points you got from multiple choice. Every multiple choice question is worth 1.2 points. So that FRQs are 54, multiple choice is 54, half and half to make 108. You will have a percentage of what you scored as according to where I said the weighting was with the 1s and the 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s? Corresponding to 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then 5s are automatic hundreds. And then you will have written below that some form of low, mid, high, maybe like a low mid or a mid high of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, those scores are where you were April 1st. They're not necessarily where you are today. There's a fly, is that what we're all laughing about? Okay, these scores are. Okay, so the scores are where you were, not where you are. Why am I saying that?
Because we can improve.
Well, we've had 2 weeks of packets under our belt now that we didn't have then. And we've gone through tons of different topics in those categories, right? Now, since we've gone over those types of topics in those categories, what am I hoping you guys can do when you go through to do corrections? Wait, hold on. We have to get correction papers for all of the problems that we missed because there were a lot for everyone? No. You're going to correct with a colored pen on the multiple choice packets in front of you. That's where you did the work. Just take a pen to it and correct it. So you're not writing explanations, you're not writing topics, even though it might be good for you to like put in topics what you missed. You're writing on the multiple choice in colored pen, trying to get it right. Free response, you're writing in colored pen, trying to get it right. Oh, by the way, all the BC kids took each one of the free response and made a video explaining how to do it in detail with the concepts behind it. I'm going to go ahead and post it on Google Classroom. I'll probably also put like some sort of document under your AP exam review. There'll be BC explanations for 2000, what are we in, 2017 mock AP. Okay? So, the free response you are supposed to correct, but you can use the videos to do so from the AP Calculus BC kids from this year. The multiple choice, how are you going to correct them? You're going to look at your Scantron. You're going to see that you got a problem wrong. Maybe you should like go through and just highlight the problems in the packets of the ones you got wrong. You don't have to look at the Scantron ever again. Well, not really. The right answers are on there. But once you have those problems, then you're going to go through and say, do I know how to do it now? Why are you going to ask yourself that? You didn't then, but maybe you do now. Exactly. You've done stuff since then, right? You've practiced stuff since then. Now, maybe you're still like, I don't know. Okay, put a question mark. Go find the ones that you can figure out. Maybe take a little bit of time to go back with like notes or forevers or when you see things, etc., to research a little bit and see if you can figure them out. And then if you can't, highlight with a different highlighter and say, I'm asking about that one on the Monday and Tuesday we get that. Does that make sense? Okay. So the scores you're about to get, it's where you were then, not where you are now. And I hope and I pray not where you will be May 9th. Now listen, I had to give it a little bit of a pep talk to period 1 because it is up to you to give your all after we come back from spring break and even over spring break in preparation for the AP Calculus exam. This year more than any other, and I promise I am totally accurate in saying this, you guys have, between you and period 1 as a combined force, you guys have gotten more disheartened, more discouraged, more psyched out, less motivated, as seen by some of our scores on the tests, up until this point. But that does not dictate as a class where we're going to be on May 9th. It's up to you to choose. I really wish, and I would try with all my might to choose for you, but I can't. When you're home and when you're trying these packets, it's up to you whether you actually care and actually try and actually struggle through, come the next day and actually want to learn how to do the problems, or whether you just circle some answers and then pretend to grade some answers and be like, oh, here you go. It's up to you whether you care. I can't choose it for you, but I can beg and plead to have a great spring break, to get some rest, to recuperate, because it's been so long since we had a break, right? We're tired. We're dead. I'm dead. We're just barely hanging in there, and praise the Lord, it's period 6 on Thursday before Good Friday. But listen, have some fun. Get some rest. Please don't ignore calculus the whole time. But ask yourself the question, do you want it? I want it, but I can't choose for you to learn. I can encourage you as best I can. I can give you as many resources as I can. So here's what we're going to do. I'm begging and pleading for you guys just to think, where are you at? This that I'm about to pass out to you in a little bit will show you where you were. Do not take the past and define your future with it. Oh my goodness, life lessons. That's the message of the gospel. Do not take your past and let it define your future. Okay? Learn from the past. So what are we doing with corrections? You guys embrace this. I don't understand. What are you doing with corrections? You're trying to learn from your mistakes. What are you trying to figure out and identify? Weaknesses. What are we going to try and do with those weaknesses? Cameron and Carol, why are we talking? What are we going to try and do with those weaknesses? Make them strong. Okay? The broken bones, when they heal back, they're as strong as they've ever been. Now, if you think about it. Okay. So, let me go ahead and I talked about where we've been. I've talked about where we are today and what we're doing over spring break or what I'm asking you to do. I've talked about what we're doing the Monday and Tuesday we get back. Once our questions on the corrections that you guys work on are done, once you turn in those corrections on Wednesday and they're out of your life, just for me to give you credit for all the hard work hopefully you've done in correcting what you got wrong. The silly, stupid mistakes you're going to find and the silly tricks that the AP guys pulled on you that you should have gotten it right if only you hadn't been tricked by trying to identify those weaknesses, etc. Then we're going to go ahead and cover just a couple more packets that last week before APs start. My AP is not that first week of APs, mine's the next week, the next Tuesday. So that first week of APs, some of you are here some days, some of you are gone other days, juniors and seniors, you have different this, that's, and the others, English and histories and governments and whatnot. However, that last week before the APs, I'm going to have printed off one more 2012 practice exam that is not up on your class folder. It's a full-length one, and we'll just be playing with it, and I'll just be walking around trying to figure out how I can help you most. That is when we're just going to say, hey, AP stuff, here we come. But otherwise, it's still okay to take things slow. It's still okay to be looking at notes and forever cards to learn as far as corrections, etc. But hopefully at that point we'll be going speedy. I'll be giving you 1.2 minutes per question and we'll see what you get right and wrong. Okay? That is where we're going. That is what I have planned. We have a few minutes left. When are we actually at? Was it 2 exactly or was it earlier? 56? Okay. It's on the thingy back there. Let's go ahead. I have 5 or 6 minutes. Let me get back your exams. That way you guys can have them. I am not putting in the score into your final exam category for a few reasons. Number 1, you haven't taken your forever final. Number 2, you haven't done bonus. And number 3, it's not the end of the video. There you go. We'll do like replacing lowest test score and all that after your forever final, which will come after spring break. It's not Monday. It's not Tuesday. I need to look at the AP schedule and see what the best time is for that. But do you guys have any logistic questions before I pass that? Okay. Oh, the 5 minutes before here, I got you. Is that why he's getting back your bracelet? Alright, kids. Let me pray real quick for you guys and your spring break before I distract you all with this, because once I give you this, some of you will be ecstatic, some of you will be totally crestfallen, and everywhere in between. Please listen. I've had kids jump 2 to 3 points. There's only 5 possible. They've jumped from a 2 to a 4. They've jumped from a 1 to a 3 or a 4. They've jumped from a 2 to a 5. But they've also gone from a 5 to a 3 or a 4 to a 2. 3 to a 1, I don't know. I'm just saying, this doesn't define where you are. This just is a learning tool. Cool? Yes. And all those bonus points, I'm not making this clear for you. Sound good? Let's pray quick for spring break. Father, I praise you for the kids before me. We're tired, we're worn, or just here at the end of the day before spring break. So Lord, I pray for the break before us. First of all, I just pray that we can celebrate you this weekend. Lord, the ultimate picture of something beautiful coming out of something broken. Your death on the cross, and then the ultimate sign of God accepting that sacrifice on our behalf to cover all of our weaknesses, all of our faults, all of our brokenness, and their resurrection. I also pray for the week that follows traveling mercies for fun times of where we go, whether we're going to serve or we're going to learn in a different country and everything in between. Lord, I pray for all of those that are staying at home. Lord, I pray for all the kids that they will find a chance to just revive, Lord, just to get some energy back, to get some rest back, to have some fun, to have some downtime with family or friends, or even just some good personal alone time. And in these times, Lord, let us heal from all of the stress, from all of the overwhelming things that happened this semester, and be able to come back just with a renewed energy in order to face the rest of the year and to do things well and to just give our all for your glory, always resting on your grace. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, it's alphabetical order. It's in no particular order besides just pure alphabetical. Guys, it's Scantron stapled to FRQs. Once again, where am I putting those BC videos? I'll do Google Classroom and the AP exam review folder in the classroom. Chris, come on down. Gabby, come on down. Kyle, come on down. Madison, Emily, Caitlin.
Yes.
Caitlin, Lucy, Cameron, Carla, Bree, Josh, Isco.
Hello in alphabetical.
Never mind, I thought I heard you.
I hate myself.
Okay, cheers.
Amy, Noah, Jeremy, Dylan, Claire, Jonathan.
Okay, fine. I expect 3.
Jacob, Tasha, Eileen, Josh, Kelly.
I got a 5. Yeah.
John, what'd you get?
How about anyone else? It's only about Piercing Games, Killer, Cameron, Warren, Ethan.
Hello everybody, this is your old pal Kara Zipperman. Congratulations to the following ASD elected officers who reached over 51% of those voting. For publicity, Sarah Hakeem. Athletics and awards, Ricky Ballou. Commissioner of activities, Noah Lee.
For Secretary, Ryle Sander. For Ambassador, Megan Peterson. For Vice President, Amanda Avila. And for President, Jonathan Reed.
Warren.
Dude,
Okay.
barely.
Pause, wait. Oh yeah, we can leave. Question. I had 3 of you testing. There are 3 absent people. Did any of them ask you to pick up their test?
Josh is coming.
Perfect. Thank you. Ethan and Andy, no reply? No reply. Bye guys, I'll see you later. You have reached spring break. You have earned it in so many ways. Please use it wisely and let's get grade 7 before we left
I've never seen so many fireworks in my life.
Everyone in the
Like 5 hours. Actually, I thought I did worse than ever.
What did you get?
I got points.
What do you get?
You got the same.
You think that?
What did I
It could have been worse. You could have gotten
What do you get?
Why can't I get a high?
You got a low pass. What? What?
Matt, what you got? Oh, wait, you're not. Why are you in this class?
Because I'm not stupid.
More like you just don't want to
Jake, are you gonna stay with you?
Jake? No, I don't.
Are you gonna stay with Jake?
I'm depressed now.
Are you tutoring? Because I need like 3 hours.